Welcome to this tutorial. We are going to solve first semester, first session, 2014-2015 part 3, extended questions from 19 to 26. Now this is another partial fraction question and it is a little different from what you have done, but not really if you understand. This is the quotient and this is your remainder. We can see that you have x multiplied by x square, and the power of x in the numerator is 3. So it's a long division question. So we have to do long division. If you don't know long division, you can watch my video on algebraic fractions, division of algebraic fractions, and that will help you a lot. So let's start. We will write outside, expand the bracket here, you will get 2x squared plus x. And then write 4x cubed plus, there's no space there, so write 0x squared plus 10x plus 4. So 2x multiplied by 2x squared will give us 4x cubed. And x multiplied by 2x, 2x squared. If you don't understand, then this first term write here. And the first term here, write it here. 4 divided by 2, you will get 2. And 3 minus 2, you will get 1. So this is what we are going to write as our quotient. Now always you have to change the signs. This is a plus, it will become minus and minus. Cancelled. Negative 2x squared plus 10x. So again you do it the same way. You will get negative 2x squared, negative x. Change the signs. Cancelled. You will get 11x plus 4. Look at the power of x here, it is 1, and the power of x here is 2. It means you cannot divide it further. This is your remainder. Now we will write it in the form of quotient plus remainder over divisor. So write the question here, 4x cubed plus 10x plus 4 over x, 2x plus 1. We have already found the quotient and it was given to us 11x plus 4 over x, 2x plus 1. They just confused us, but it's the same thing that we always do. After this step, write let the remainder over the divisor. So 11x plus 4 over x, 2x plus 1 equal a over x plus b over 2x plus 1. Then always write down your numerator, only the numerator. Look at the denominator of a, it is x. Cover x, what are you left with? 2x plus 1. That's what you will write besides a. And for b, you have 2x plus 1. So we are going to cover up 2x plus 1. We will be left with x. How will this x become 0 when it is equal to 0? What about 2x plus 1? So write down on the side 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to negative 1 divided by 2 when x is equal to negative half. So these are the two values you need to know. Now we will write when x is equal to 0. Substitute 0 wherever there is x. 11 multiplied by 0 is 0 and we'll be left with 4. You can directly substitute in the calculator. You don't need to show your substitutions. And here 0 multiplied by b is 0, so b is gone. And we are left with a. 2x plus 1, in place of x when you get 0, you will get 1. So 4 is equal to a. Now to find b, what shall you do? you will write when x is equal to negative half. So when you substitute in place of x negative half, you will get negative 3 over 2 is equal to negative half b. Divide negative 3 over 2 with negative half and you will get 3 is equal to b. The reason I have also found a when they have only told us to find b is because I've seen in the mark scheme, sometimes they ask you to find something and they also give you marks when you find the other unknown. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Find whatever is given to you. Okay, so we are done with this question also. Question number 20. Without using a calculator, calculate the value of sine 105 degrees cos 75 degrees plus cos 105 degrees sine 75 degree. It's a 3-mark question. Look at the formula sheet. Which identity does this represent? This is the identity it represents. What is your A? You can see that your A is 105. And what is your B? 75. So we just have to replace it here. In place of A, we'll put 105. And in place of B, we will put 75. You will get sine 180. And you can put in the calculator, you will get the answer is 0. The only time you have to be careful is when they say don't use a calculator, when you have sine 45 and cos 45. If you put in the calculator, you will get square root 2 over 2. We don't use this format. We write it as 1 over square root 2. And then when it is 10, 30. 10, 30 will give you square root 3 over 3. Again, we don't write it like this. We write it as 1 square root 3. Besides that, for anything, you can use the calculator and you will not have any problems. In this question, we have been given that cot A is equal to 1 over 4 and cot A minus B is equal to 8. Calculate the value of tan B. You know that cot is the reciprocal of tan. So the first thing we will do is convert it into tan. We'll write tan A. Instead of writing 1 over tan A, we flip the numbers that it is equal to. So it is 1 over 4, it will become 4 over 1. But we don't need to write the 1. And then cot A minus B will turn into tan A minus B is equal to 1 over 8. Now we have to use the formula from the formula sheet and solve this equation. So now writing down the formula, tan A minus B is equal to tan A minus tan B over 1 plus tan A tan B. We'll replace what has been given to us. Tan A minus B is 1 over 8. Tan A is 4. Tan B we don't know. 1 plus 4 tan B. Now we are going to cross multiply. 1 multiplied by the whole thing is going to be the same thing. 4 minus tan B. Open the bracket up and you'll get 32 minus 8 tan B. Bring all the tan B's together. You want to find tan B, so bring it to the right hand side, left hand side, make it the subject. 4 tan B plus 8 tan B is equal to 32 minus 1. 12 tan B is equal to 31. Therefore, tan B is equal to 31 over 12. The mark distribution of this question is, for writing this much, you get 1 mark. Then writing the formula and replacing your values, you get 1 mark. Solving it, you will get 1 mark. So they are easy marks. Also another thing, this question is the same from your textbook. In trigonometry, many times they give you copy-paste questions from the textbook. This question is there on page 65, C3, C4 book. So please practice from the textbook. Part B. Express square root 5 over 3 cos theta minus square root 5 over 3 sin theta in the form r cos theta plus alpha, where r is more than 0. It's a 3-mark question and the most repeated question of trigonometry. So this is something you must learn very well and understand it. You have been given r cos theta plus alpha. You can see this is the addition formula. It's like cos a plus b. So we will first look at the formula sheet and write down the formula for cos a plus b. So this is our formula. Our a is theta and our b is alpha. Write down the question again. So you will get square root 5 over 3 cos theta minus square root 5 3 over square root 5 over 3 sin theta is equal to. So this is our formula where theta is A and alpha is B. Write down your question again. So this is equal to, now use the formula, but in place of A put theta, in place of B put alpha. And also we have an R here. So put an R before here and before here. That will give you R cos theta cos alpha minus R sin theta sin alpha. After this step, you have to equate. So write equate, and we have to find the coefficient of cos theta. Some children, for some reason, they find it difficult. Underline like this. This is cos theta here, and there is cos theta here. So what is common here? Cos theta. If you cancel it out, what will remain? Square root 5 over 3 is equal to r cos alpha. The same we are going to do with sin theta. If you find it difficult to understand like this, you can write the whole equation and then cancel it out. So what is before sin theta? Negative square root 5 and negative square root 5 over 3. And what is before r sin theta sin alpha? Negative r sin alpha. The negative and the negative will get cancelled, so it is positive. After this step, we find the r. For r, whatever values you have got of cos and sin alpha, you will just write it under, put a square, and put it in a calculator. You will get your answer as square root 10 over 3. We have found our r. Now we need to find alpha. To find alpha, you have to do 10 alpha is equal to sin alpha over cos alpha. Again, you don't need to write this. This is just an explanation. What is your sin alpha? Square root 5 over 3. What is your cos alpha? Square root 5 over 3. When you put this in the calculator, you will get 1. Therefore, 10 alpha is equal to 1. Alpha is going to be 10 inverse alpha, inverse 1, which is 45. You have also found your alpha. Write down the question again. In this mark scheme, they have given you 1 mark for writing down everything again. So always write down the question is identical to r. What is our r? Square root 10 over 3 cos theta plus 45 degrees. This is what we replaced in our r and alpha. So the question is finished. Please do a lot of questions similar to this question. So this is a proving question, and we have been given in the bracket cos x over 2 minus sin x over 2 square plus sin x is equal to 1. For proving, always choose the more difficult side. So we are going to choose the left hand side, and then we are going to use the identity a minus b bracket square. So this is going to be our a and this will be our b. The identity is a minus b square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. For expanding the brackets, it's easier if you know the identity. We know that our a is cos x, so we will substitute a with cos x over 2 and b with sin x over 2. When we do that, this is what we will get. Cos bracket x over 2 square means cos square x, and this I arranged it, put the sign first and cos after. So negative 2 sin x over 2 cos x over 2 plus sin square x over 2. Now this is what we are going to write here, plus sin x. This we'll use for writing the identity. So the other identity that you should know, this is also given in the formula sheet, sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. Whenever you have anything here, if it is 5x, sin square 5x plus cos square 5x, it's going to equal to 1. Therefore, sin square x over 2 plus cos square x over 2 is equal to 1. So we will just write that. And then the identity which I wrote down now, look at the formula sheet. It is the sine double angle identity. Sin 2x is equal to 2 sin x cos x. What is your x in our equation? It's x over 2. So replace it with x over 2. You will get 2 sin x over 2 cos x over 2. Because I changed my x, I will also change my x here. So the 2 will get cancelled. What is that equal to? Sin x. So in place of this, I will substitute sin x. The negative sin x and the sin x will get cancelled. We are left with 1, which is equal to our right hand side. I will show you how to expand this. So we write the bracket 2 times. And again. So cos multiplied by cos will give me cos square x over 2. Then this multiplied by sin x over 2 will give me negative sin x over 2 and cos x over 2. The same we will do with negative sin x over 2. We'll get negative sin x over 2 and cos x over 2. And then negative sin x over 2 multiplied by negative sin x over 2 will be positive sin square x over 2. Now when we simplify it, we add the like terms together. So this is the same as this. So we will get cos square x over 2 minus 2 sin x over 2 cos x over 2 and the plus sin x square x over 2. So this is what we got when we expanded using the formula, the identity. So knowing the formula is much easier than expanding the brackets like this. This is an integral question with limits. So we have to integrate. I'm sure you all know how to integrate very well. We add 1 to the power. So 3 plus 1, 4. And the new power we put down. With x, there's power 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. And the 2 goes down. If you have only a number, any number, you will put an x after it. This 4 will get cancelled. Please remember you have to put the square brackets and write your limits on the right hand side. Now in place of x we'll put 1, and then in place of x we will put 0. So you will get a 0 here. This will be 1 minus half plus 1, which will give me 3 over 2. It's a very easy 4-mark question. In this question we have been given a graph, and there are 2 curves we can see. Let's read the question. Calculate the shaded area of the region bounded by these graphs of f of x is equal to x cubed minus x squared minus x, and g of x is equal to x squared plus 2x. First check if the limits are given. The limits are given to you, -1 and 0. This is your x value and this is your y value. We only use x values for limit, not the y value. Now let's check which graph is on the top. This graph is on the top. Which is it? F of x. So write f of x, whichever is on the bottom, the g of x graph minus g of x, with the limits 0 and -1. We will replace the f of x with x cubed minus x squared minus x, and g of x with x squared plus 2x. Remember to put the dx. And now again we'll write it, expand the bracket. The reason we put in a bracket is because there's a minus here, so your signs are going to change. It's going to become -x squared minus 2x dx. Look for like terms. You have -x squared here and -x squared here, and -x and -2x. So we'll simplify it now. 0, -1, x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x. Now we are ready to integrate. When you integrate, remember the minute you add 1, so 3 plus 1, 4, that power goes down. You have to have these square brackets. The integral sign will go away. 2 plus 1, 3, the 3 goes down, and 1 plus 1, 2, the 2 will go down. Put your limits on the right hand side. Now substitute your value. When you substitute 0, it will be 0. And then in place of x, we'll put -1. -1 cube minus 3 over 2, -1 square. This will give us -7 over 12. Negative and negative will become positive. So 7 over 12 square units. Because it is area, write that it is square units. I want to show you the mark distribution for this question. The first f of x minus g of x is half. And then this here, just substituting, is a 1 mark. When you integrate it, you will get, integrate and simplify, you will get 1 mark. And then when you substitute your values, you get 1 mark. And the last final answer is half. So when you're solving, remember to write the line minus the curve or the curve minus the curve, whatever they have named it, do that. Then just replace it properly and follow the steps that are given. Okay? Question number 25. A and B are two events such that probability of A is 0.3, probability of B is 0.25, and the intersection is 0.05. You have to draw a Venn diagram to represent the events A and B and the sample space A. The intersection has been given to us, then everything else is very easy. So first we'll make a Venn diagram. So this is our Venn diagram. We write S here, sample space. This is A and B. And our intersection is 0.05. To find the only A part, we will do, what is our A? 0.3. So 0.3 minus the intersection, which is 0.05, will give you 0.25. To find the only B part, our B is 0.25. From that, you subtract 0.05, you will get 0.2. So that's how you find these values. And then to find the outside one, you know that probability is always equal to 1. So this whole probability is equal to 1. So from 1, we are going to subtract 1 minus 0.25 plus 0.05 plus 0.2. And this will give us 0.5. That will come here. So we have finished with our Venn diagram. In this question, we have been given probability of A and probability of B, and probability of A given B is 0.4. Calculate A intersection B complement. Whenever you have a probability question, the first thing you should do is open your formula sheet and look at the rules. You have to find A intersection B complement. That is here. To do that, you need to have probability of A and probability of A intersection B. You already have probability of A, so you need to find probability of A intersection B. And to do that, you can see that we can use this rule here. If you have A given B and B, you can use this rule to find A intersection B. So this is the first rule we'll be using, and then we'll use this rule. So A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B over probability of B. Replace the values that you have. 0.4 is equal to over 0.5. Cross multiply, you will get 0.2 is equal to probability of A intersection B. Now we'll use the second rule. Probability of A intersection B complement is equal to probability of A minus probability of A intersection B. A is 0.75 and A intersection B is 0.2, which is equal to 0.55. So this brings us to the end of this exam paper. I hope I have been a help to you. Kindly subscribe and like and share this video with your friends so even they may benefit. Thank you for watching.